Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome everybody to our 2013 Roll of Honor celebration. And this time I'd like to have Supervisor Kennedy come and sing for us the national anthem. Yep. And you're all going to sing with me. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you, Bob. And at this time, I'd like to introduce our County Executive, Odell.
Thank you, Deputy Walker. Thank you to Supervisor Temby of Putnam Valley. Thanks for coming all the way over from the West Coast. I'd like to thank some of our veterans who are joining us today, as well as some of our other elected officials. Legislator Carl Albano is here with us today, Under Sheriff Peter Combry, Chief Gerald A. Schrammett. We also have some of our members of our team from the Highway Department who are responsible for this beautiful display. And I see Assemblyman Cass is tucked away in the back. Also like to thank our Director of Tourism who worked on this project along with our Director of Affairs, Mr. Paul Doherty. And I'd like to thank his Deputy, Mr. Art Hanley, for being here today. This is a collaborative effort between our Tourism Department, headed by Libby Pataki, the Veterans Affairs, and Putnam County. And we understand that Putnam County is comprised of residents, many of whom have worked in service and have served in their service to others. Many of our residents have served in the armed forces or in the National Guard, and many of our residents are first responders, either career or volunteer. Today you'll see before you 100 American-made flags, and we also have flags representing the United States Armed Forces. We have representation here for the Army, the Navy, the U.S. Marine Corps, Air Force, and the Coast Guard. And this particular display for Veterans Day, we also have flags from the Army National Guard and the Air Guard. And we added the POW MIA flag, a Merchant Marine flag, and a Navy Seabees flag. And I'd like to thank Joe Reinhardt from Carmel for arranging us to have the Seabees flag. And Joe is with us today. Thank you, Joe. The Row of Honor is a combined effort, as I mentioned earlier, and the proceeds from this will go to a veterans organization of our choice. And this year the proceeds will be donated to the Purple Heart Hall of Honor. And if you recall, last April, Putnam became the first Purple Heart County in the state of New York. This year we are also honoring our active duty military men and women by joining Jim Rathschmidt from United for Troops. Putnam will join their drive to collect items for care packages that will be sent to our deployed men and women that serve us overseas. And I'd like to welcome Jim and thank him for bringing United for the Troops to our attention. So today we ask our residents to join us in honoring the names of loved ones who died in service to our country, in honoring in the names of those who presently do serve our country, and honoring the men and women who serve us in our police and our fire departments, or in any of our emergency first responders. Today we ask that you sponsor a flag to honor those heroes. Sponsorships are $100, and you can call Mimi at our Veterans Affairs at 845-808-1001. Thank you everyone for attending, and before we end today's ceremony, I would just like to introduce Mr. Jim Rathschmidt and have him speak a little bit on behalf of the United for Troops kickoff for today. Thank you again. Jim? Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is a pleasure to be here, and I'm joined by some of my friends and part of the United States Troops family, Tracy Griffin, Mary Monty, and Charlie Monty, who have been with us from day one. It started very casually. We found out from my son that there were many men and women overseas that really weren't getting what they needed. And so we sent them some letters and they responded. 8 years later, we've been able to collect through our community 7,500 boxes sent over to our men and women serving overseas. We continue to do it. We hope that someday we won't be able to send as many boxes out. You all know what I mean. We have no political affiliation. We do it because we want to bring a little comfort to our troops. And that's basically what we do, 24 hours a day, sometimes 7 days a week. So I thank you for having us. We have a website. I have information here if anybody needs to have it. Thank you, Mary Ellen, very much for getting on board with us. This is a huge enterprise to be involved with Putnam County. So I'm going to leave it at that, and thank you again very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. And please note that the boxes for the United for Troops donations will be available in all the county buildings. And we do have a list of what items are requested by our troops available on the website. And you can feel free to contact our office if you have any other questions or concerns. So thank you.